Hey everybody, we were tagged in this challenge recently by our friend Oliver over at the Don't Be Bored channel. Check that one out if you haven't checked it out already. Anyway, so this is a theme challenge where we're just basically going over some of our favorite themes in board games. In no particular order, but we're going to each talk about 5 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to have any overlap. We haven't looked at each other's lists yet.
We might.
So we'll find out together, I guess. Yeah, that's it. A pretty loose list here. We're just talking about themes.
Yeah.
I do want to say a disclaimer, though. Just because I like a theme doesn't mean I'm going to like every single game that has that theme.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I still need something more than just a theme that I
yes.
like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here are themes that we enjoy.
Yep.
So, the first one I'm going to talk about is maybe is my favorite. I don't know, and that is horror. Because I do like. Listen, from a very young age, I loved monster movies. I love scary movies, and I am in my 40s now, and I still love these things. So, when I can find a fun board game that has like a horror or a monster type element to it, I'm all for it. Some recent ones that some recent one that I liked is Final Girl, because that one is a game where you get to play the final girl in a horror movie. It is a solitaire game, but it has it's back there somewhere. Can you see it? It is a game where you are the final girl in a movie. And there's a killer or a monster or something after you, trying to either kill you or kill everyone else in the camp or the space station or the house or whatever. There's been 2 seasons of this game, and there is tons of variability. I think it creates a good tension, like because it's basically you're dice rolling, but you're also like getting cards, like buying new cards every time. That you have to rebuy if you want to use them again, but it's a really cool system, and it's a really fun game that adds tension to like a horror type setting. Another one that I really like, and it's actually also a dice rolling game, is Ancient Terrible Things, which is the theme is basically just like you're trying to roll combos, or the mechanism is that, but the theme is that like you're on a riverboat going down this river, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff on the side that you have to encounter. Monsters and statues and curses and all kinds of fun stuff. So that's another one that I really enjoy, that the theme really brings it out. And then, of course, there's a Halloween a game and a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game that are either out or coming out very soon that, based on the movies, that I can't wait to play those. So that is my first theme.
My first theme is building, I guess.
Building, okay.
So like, especially one of my favorite games, like Machikoro.
Okay.
Where you're like building like this empire, I guess.
Okay. Like city building, or just building, or just like building.
Building in general.
Okay.
Like, I guess you could. I don't know how to. It's just like this. Like Machikoro, where like you're building up all these buildings and like doing that, but like also you could think of Overboss, where you're building out this big dungeon.
Yeah. Okay.
Like those kind of general things.
Okay.
Of, like just building things.
Okay. Building things. Sure. Okay. That's fair. All right. So then my next one I wanted to mention, like I kind of tried to think of some interesting ones, some unique ones. So I'm gonna say TV and movie production. Because there are not many games in this genre, but there's a couple that I can think of offhand. The one is the networks, where you are running a TV station.
Yeah.
And you got to program your TV station to get the best shows on the air with the best actors in them, and with try to throw an ad on there to make more money. So I don't know. It's a fun theme because and the seasons go by. And as the seasons go by, sometimes the ratings on the show goes up, or sometimes they go down. People lose interest in your show, so you got to cancel them and throw something new in there. The networks is a cool one, and then the other one I thought of is kind of also fits into the horror genre.
That's what I thought of first.
Which is Nightmare Productions,
yes.
Where you're trying to make a cheesy horror movie, right? Mm-hmm. However, I mean, if you could make it really good, you can get a lot of points.
And there's some awards at the end,
yes,
like for
correct.
basically in the best movie, but the movie that scored the most points.
And also you can get an award for having the worst movie, too.
Yeah.
So that's fun. It's an auction game, so like the theme is kind of there. It's had other movie themes on it over the years. The current theme is horror movie, but that's really fun. You make these movies with weird names and stuff, and and put monsters in it and survivors and weapons and all that stuff. So that's fun. TV movie production is my next theme.
My next theme is space.
Okay.
It's always a good theme. I mean, I wouldn't really want to play Twilight Imperium 4, but because that's a while. Wormholes is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
because
sure.
you're flying around space, you're dropping people off, and you're creating these wormholes so that you can travel easier in space.
Okay.
Just this area of space.
Okay. What else do we have that's a space themed game? I was thinking Liftoff is kind of like a space themed game, right? Because you're trying to get off a planet into space, I guess.
We don't really know where they're going, do we?
Off of the planet.
I mean, we're kind of there's a thing where we can just yeet them off a slingshot. So I'm not sure how effective that is, but
space.
Yeah, that is true.
I have a question. Technically, doesn't every game take place in space?
By technicality, yes, but not
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a upcoming space game coming that might be kind of fun. Do you know what that is?
No.
That's called Last Light by our friend Roy Canada. So we backed that on Kickstarter, and it should be arriving before the end of the year. So that one looks fun. Okay. So your number 2 is space, or your next one is space.
Yeah. Not really much of a list here.
So the next one I have is cats. I love cats. We have cats. Cats are, my parents always had cats. We have cats now. They're over here watching the birds that you may be able to hear.
Yes.
So there are a lot of cat-themed games or games with cats in them. Mm-hmm. The first one I wanted to mention was a game called Cat Town. Did you play this with me? I don't know if you've ever played that with me. Finn has a couple of times, and I know your mom has. This is based on a town in Taiwan, I believe, where there's just cats everywhere. And the whole idea of the game is you're just going around trying to see cats. There's kind of a cool deck manipulation mechanism. So there's decks, there's different areas of the town, and they'll have a deck egg in them. So you can try to manipulate those decks so that when you land on that spot, the card that you want is on the top of that deck. But yeah, Cat Town is super fun. And then I have a roll and write one called Cat Cafe. You've played that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, and it's a basic roll and write, right? Where you're just rolling dice, drafting those dice, and then trying to fill in these cat towers, I guess they are. So
yeah,
and put beds in them and cat toys and balls of yarn, and just trying to score points based on their adjacency. Mm-hmm. So not really the cat theme is there, but it's not really intertwined into the mechanisms. But it's a super cute game, and you're rolling and writing things that cats sure like to play with, or eat, or sleep. So yeah, cats is my next one.
My number 3 is food.
That's okay.
My example right now is we just recently played diced veggies.
Okay.
Whereas basically you use this little cleaver to cut the veggies and then put them into a dish. So it is pretty thematic.
Yeah, and then use the build recipes. Did you say that?
Yeah.
So make recipes.
And they put them into the recipes, and then you can use hype cards to make it even more points. And then you can basically you cut the veggies and then put them on the cards, and then you cook the food.
Yeah, right. Yep. It's a pretty simple game.
And it's pretty thematic if you think about it.
Oh man, you know what? I like food games too, but I didn't put that on my list. I probably maybe should have because we probably have a lot of food games.
We do.
What's another food game that we have?
Guilty Food Tricks.
Guilty Food Tricks? Well, yeah, that's a game about taking pictures of food.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but it is food themed because there's some really good looking food on there.
And then there's some nasty stuff.
Why you say that? What's nasty in that game?
Remember there's that one with that weird bowl of liquid with a bunch of Red Bull cans surrounding it.
Well, somebody might like that. I don't know. All you're doing is taking a picture of it. You're not actually eating it in the game. But it's a trick-taking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a lot of food games, and I do like food games because I like food. But however, it's not on my list, so I'm glad you picked it so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one on my list is I was gonna say animals, but I'm gonna specifically say zoos. Because I think zoo games are super fun. We have a few. Ark Nova is an obvious one where you're running and maintaining a zoo. But I think one of my favorite ones is Baron Park.
That is a good one.
I know, where it's a tile laying game, and you're building a bear park. So basically you're taking your tiles to cover spaces, and whatever spaces you cover are the tiles you get to take for the next turn. So we've been playing that one for years, and that one's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then of course there's also Zularetto,
Yeah.
which is the game where you're pulling animals out of a bag. I know it doesn't make any sense, right? You're pulling animals out of a bag. You're pulling animal tiles out of a bag, and then putting them on trucks. And then if you don't want to pull one out, you take one of the trucks, add them to your zoo, try to get them all together, score points. Those are 3 games that I really enjoy.
My next theme is Pirates.
Pirates, really? Okay, interesting.
So, one that instantly comes to mind is Booty, because it's definitely a pirate game.
That's an interesting one.
Where basically, we haven't played this game in a while.
It's an I split you choose game where you're making piles when there's like treasure, but there's also like there's like an area control game too.
Because you're trying to get the areas and with the treasure, so that you can get basically the most treasure at the end of the game and win.
Right, but you want to control the islands too, so you want to make sure you're not putting, if you're splitting the piles up, you're not putting too much. Like, not making it too attractive to somebody who's already got, like, their flags planted on those islands.
Yeah.
So that one's fun. What other pirate games do we have? We've got, what is the dead, what is it called? Dead Man's Island? What the heck is that called? It's the Reiner Knizia game.
Yeah, that is...
What is that called?
It is Dead Man's Island.
Where you're, also...
We got that a while ago.
I know. It's fun, though, because...
It is fun.
That's where you're putting down, there's islands, you're trying to control the islands, and you put the card face down, then when you land on it, the card flips over, and if your card beats that card, then you control it. But sometimes there's cannons there that explode the island.
Yeah, and then there's the ghost pirate. And there's all sorts of stuff that happens.
That one's fun too, as far as pirate theme. Even though being a Reiner Knizia game has multiple themes on it. I think there's at least two other themes on that particular game with that mechanism. But I think the pirate theme works on that.
Yeah.
That was the 4th one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So my last one I'm going to mention today is I didn't know how to exactly say it. I was going to say adventuring or like discovery.
I see what you mean.
So so the examples. Funny enough, you would think this would be in the horror section, but I think one of the best adventuring games that we own is Eldritch Horror. Because, I don't know, it's a horror game in name, but it feels more like an adventuring game. Because
I see what you mean.
There's things going on all over the world. There's monsters over here. There's, all kinds of things to explore in the world, on this world map.
And sometimes you go to the moon.
Sometimes you do go to the moon, or the Dreamland. Those are fun places to explore too. So you're adventuring and you're trying to build it up and stop the whatever that's coming. But the adventure part is fun because you're going to a location, flipping a card, reading an adventure, making a skill check or making a decision, and then getting a benefit or a negative. In that game, mostly it's negative.
Yeah.
But still, I like the adventuring aspect of it, where you're traveling the globe, trying to solve, put down the monsters and, solve whatever mystery is happening currently. So, yeah, that one's good. And then probably one of the best examples that we have played recently is Sleeping Gods.
Yeah,
Because that game, there is combat in that game, which doesn't happen all that often, all the time. Depends. But you have a map, go where you want. See what happens. Explore this area.
There's a crap ton of stuff to do.
And that's another thing that has a lot of keywords in it. So, depending if you have a keyword, something completely different might happen at a space.
And if you don't have the keyword, something gain 1 fish.
Yeah, sometimes nothing happens, or something very, you're like, oh well, But if I come back here with that keyword, something cool is going to happen.
But now
So
where
that's-
the heck is this keyword?
So that's a really fun game of adventuring and just like discovering the world. So that's what I picked for the last one to talk about. Adventuring / discovery.
My last one was animals, which I
Okay.
picked as
Okay.
Raccoon Tycoon.
Okay, interesting.
Because
That does have an animal theme,
It
that's
has
for
an
sure.
animal theme, but it also would fit under the building theme.
Yeah,
Where you're,
sure. Yeah, you're right.
you're,
It would.
You're building like railroads, houses, all sorts of stuff, and those as raccoons and
Dogs and
cats,
foxes and all kinds of
cute
animals.
animals. So yeah, we have a few. Obviously, we have a lizard wizard, which is
lizards, which is
Yes.
almost the same game. But we do have a lot of animal games, and I do
Yes.
like animal games. I just narrowed it specifically down to cats. I mean, look, Root is an animal game.
Yep.
Wingspan is an animal game.
Yeah, we have a lot of animal games.
Baron
They're
Park,
all,
which I mentioned, was an
they're
animal
all
game.
good games.
Yeah, I think animal games are probably one of a theme that I do gravitate towards because it's got animals in it,
It's cute.
and generally it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say about that?
No.
Okay. So, thanks for tagging on this again, Oliver. We had a good time talking about some of the themes that we liked, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. And I would love to hear some of your favorite themes if you want to put them down in the comments below. So, yeah. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Everybody.